Working okay. All right.
Take the time. Contemplate the horror.
Where do we leave off? So not normal. Katie Nuka, good to see you. All right, time to fiddle around with just after midnight. What else do we have that was salvageable? That was from Ideation, not actual. Okay. Omnisphere has Jack Squat. I think we can get that. Have that anymore. 30 synth is like. Not gonna worry about that key change because I'll save that for second move. Did we shift into? Figure was our. Hey, nothing wrong with mountains and ancient houses. Oh, hey, local bar. That's always good. Better than us. We gotta find like underground stuff where I live. Not a whole lot of acts come through. GG's. I appreciate you swinging by. Definitely need a lot of cleanups. Songs in flat minor. What was I doing for my melody then? All right, so I'm just kind of floating around. All right, we can kill the piano. Oh, I had counter melody with that. Okay, so we definitely still need this. Yeah, so counter melody, main melody. Got some basic add chords here. Add chord. This is like a weird ARP thing I was messing with. Speak. Distort. ARP. Okay. There's nothing in it. Probably a rise. We can do that. Omnisphere. These are all one notes. Probably layers and pads and other stuff. What the hell? Oh, that was me trying to figure out the groove. Oh, so I know what it sounds like. Ideation. Weird. For options. I know. Ah, here we go. Always trigger. Okay. So I'll want to remake that. I'll use Polygrid. I think getting my happy ass off of phase plant better for the long run. Get more comfortable in working in this environment even. We'll just bring that way down. Oops. You know what? We can have that spread pop in a little bit more aggressively as the tail gets long. Yeah. That's got some lovely texture to it. Okay. There's that. You're able to salvage these. Pad chord sound good. Yeah, polysynth's fine. Sorted out harp sounds good. Where's that volume gain? Alright, omnispheres are kind of useless. Again, I think those were just pads. I think I'll have to do something kind of cinematic to mimic what was fun about the build in Just After Midnight. It had that discordant orchestra, big band in the background kind of thing that sounded weird. All of these can be for reference, but I don't. Just gonna eat up a lot of. What do we got here? What do you all sound like together? I think so. That's a good element to keep. I think we also had, if I remember correctly.
Contemplate the horror.
Man, I can do something really funky, almost like jump up that way. Because it'll be like da 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 da.
Contemplate the horror.
Ooh, that key change is gonna be weird as hell. Okay, interesting. Problem is the sub. Third ain't gonna cut it. That harmonic's gonna sound weird as shit. That's a fourth. Right, fifth off of this. Okay, no, so I'm attacking it from the back end, so. Fourth down, fifth up. Okay. Gonna be weird. Fifth down. E. So, trouble. Not the end of the world. Basically, playing with some weird harmonics whenever you do stuff in these. Like, B is too low. we're looking at sub ranges. No speaker on the planet is going to be able to play that. So it's like B is out. Third below? And got early reflections. That's weird. Um. Well, there's a cheat. Actually, I go have our key change up. Yeah. All right. Why don't we try a different key? Once again, drop. Fifth. Hmm. How does that sound with like the melody and oops. I know this is kind of a dumb thing to work on now because we're really early in the process, but I gotta feel out where things are gonna go later in the track because I think the key change at the second drop, not during the second drop, but like as part of it, is gonna be a really cool way to like shift the track around somewhere. Finally, I can't. Right now, it's just after midnight. Yeah, so I think this is a strong contender for the next one. I think I can do a drum and bass flip of this, which I think will feel really nice. It's got really strong melodies that work already. Like again, solo those. I'll probably refine the counter melody. I don't think it works perfect anymore. A lot of that was probably instrumentation. I probably had a preset in Omnisphere that I liked, and I'm not gonna really recreate that. Hmm. Let's see. You have a new like, man. I don't know why SoundCloud's give me more alerts now. Maybe because I'm trying to something there, but appreciate it. Key change is gonna be slick, but that only works is if I can have a cool bass line line up without destroying the track. All right, first off, forget the sub. Validation quick. Yeah, I want to figure this out because I think that it's gonna be important to design things with the context that it's going to work in another. Bro, I have 0.43 and less than a minute. That I don't even know what PLN is. White Hank, yo back. Hope everyone had a good holiday. I know I did. Spent a lot of time eating and drinking with the fam. Gotta love it. So That was a third up. Oh, Polish curtsy. Well, don't be in shambles. Holidays couldn't have been that bad. You were the worst, Devin. The worst. Third works. Kind of hard to. Fifth on there. Go up to the fifth here. Yeah. Nah, the fifth sucks. Doo-doo-doo. Third works best. Means I. Gonna be a really meaty sub at 50 hertz. It'll be good. I mean, it'll work. But that's about as high as I'd go. Midnight all night. Actually, that's not a bad one. I was thinking, like, I'm still playing with what to name it. I think just like weirder science, it's like do a twist on the name. So, just after midnight, just midnight. I don't know. There's something just after midnight, or who we gotta play with it. I was thinking like 2 a.m. something with like 2 in the morning or something. Who knows? We got at least 3 weeks of production on this to get it. Like we're just starting. I don't even have bass sounds done. I'm trying to fiddle with like keys and shit. So let's see. Just after midday. Oh god, a bender. You just stayed up all night into the next day. Like, what have I done? Party too hard. Common break sample. Actually, I don't even remember what breaks were in this. We had a bunch of random stuff.
Take the time. Contemplate the horror. Take the time. Contemplate. Contemplate the horror, and so narrowly avoided.
Yeah, that's some like old movie sample from random movie from random sample pack that fun sounding. And those drums are all house fills from some, I mean, Vengeance. They're probably all a bunch of Vengeance stuff from back in the day. But we all had back in the day. They're probably still around there. Have you ever collaborated with other musicians? Try that again. Have I ever collaborated with other musicians? Yes. Not often. I think that it's hard for me to stick with a project for too long, and I tend to write stuff for me first, and when I'm working with somebody, I end up giving up a lot of what I'm doing to the collaborative process. Um, there's a group MDMM, which we've kind of it's a friend of mine that I visit from time to time to write like techno and house and some other stuff. I did Never with another friend back in the day, spelled with a three. That was short lived, but that's only because I moved away. We were doing some fun like mashups and remixes of dubstep stuff into drum and bass and things like that. I collaborated with some people on what ultimately didn't go anywhere. It was like a trap project, but that was fun for a time. I think my best collaborations weren't actually like it was working with somebody for something specific. Singer named Leah Crumbly. She helped me write and perform the vocal for Rock Step, which I did a long time ago. And that vocal killed the killer hook. I think she went on to do Broadway or something out in LA or something. But that was a good collaboration. I like that one quite a bit. Yeah, she wrote the lyrics. She then performed them. We did it in a friend's living room. That was like, yeah, that was a banger. I would definitely work with somebody like that again. I would like to do more with vocals. Oh, are you? Do you guys are wonder what the hell the sample is? Here, I'll just play the whole damn thing. Give me a sec. We're just gonna open this up to like here. Here's the whole thing.
Take the time. Take the time.
Oh well, let's
Take the time.
play the whole thing, please.
Take the time to contemplate the horror so clearly felt and so.
Oh. Try that again.
Take the time to contemplate the horror so clearly felt and so narrowly avoided.
That's it. It's silly. It's fun. This very much, when I wrote this, I had probably just listened to a shit ton of Pendulum, and it's like, ooh, let me throw in a weird movie sample because that's, I mean, what is it? Did that a bunch of times, and then the song would drop. So I definitely aped on that. The debate is settled. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Now you know. All right, let's. Um. Oh yeah, that's no members. Yeah, no, I don't have a membership because I don't really like. I don't have anything that's like come subscribe for more. I don't have a reward for that. At least I haven't figured out one yet. I might, but it's not that important. Do have super chats though, so if you do want to do it, and feel free from time to time to do it. I am more than happy to see buy me a cup of coffee kind of stuff come in because it all adds up. But yeah, I wouldn't stress what the sample says. For all intents and purposes, it says nonsense to me. It just sounds cool. So not even worth come subscribe for more fentanyl. Oh no. Oh no, that's and immediately just deny. You've just you got me on monetization for the day. Nice, sir. You were mentioning prohibited substances. I need to filter out those subs because it's making it very difficult to tell. Off. You have to play with bypass. Pass 3. What is the relation to F? Like a diminished? That doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound like a good. E is easily dropped fifth. Okay, I think E works. E is a dropped fifth for the sub, so it's not going to be super obnoxious having a melody and play that skill. Not too bad. Very similar to E. You guys are funny. Can't get demonetized yet. There's not enough super chats. We can't afford it. Who am I kidding? I think one super chat pays for like a week's, a month's. Like I think each live stream makes 5 cents in ads. Like it doesn't make any money. We only have like there's only a handful of us hanging out here. Favorite song on the soundtrack has a broken visualizer. Yeah, Thawi. I had Matt put those together, and I don't think he has any of those projects anymore to render them back out. Is what it is. I think we were using After Effects at the time because somebody had a copy so he just put it all together. Okay, the song is the important part. The visualizer was like an easy plugin. It wasn't even like a real effort. All right. I think that's good. I think this contextualizes everything that we. Whoa! Let's pay for this month's brother Locknar. Let's go, Christiano. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. I bet you really did probably just pay for a month of like live stream ad revenue there. So let's go. Get me a nice cup of coffee 60 days from now because that's when they pay it out. All right, let's clean this up. I think most everything is gonna get dropped. In fact, I'm gonna open a recent project because it's got all the presets in it. I'm gonna wipe the project out and I'm gonna drop everything into that project. So first, let's save this so I don't lose it. Stuff to actually work to be able to pull it in. Oh, that's actually a good question. Wait, Hank. Oh, I'm curious. What's everyone's top 3 or so songs in the soundtrack? I were to pick, Not that I have a top favorite of my children, but no, I actually definitely do. There are tracks on the album that are like, eh, and then there are tracks I'm like, yeah, very good. I think pretty easily Rock and Loaded. I made that before I even put the soundtrack together. Like that's an oldie. That is just one of my favorite things I put together. Uh Just After Midnight's a pretty good one, but I don't Rock and Loaded, Enter the Nexus, Crawler. If I were to be like off the cuff, those are probably the three. I will be able to listen to those forever and not get bored from. All right, let me see. Party Alarm, Rock and Loaded, No Escape, or Violator Engine. Okay, good picks. Party Alarm's fun. It just is a little repetitive. Let's see. Deputized Blood Sun and Weird Science. This is 80s Called Back, Violator Engine, Blood Sun. Good picks. 80s Called Back, Just After Midnight, and Violator Engine. Picks. I mean, it's a crap load of music too. It's the biggest release I ever did. It was 6 years of just my creative output, just constantly throwing it at the soundtrack. I wasn't doing self releases. I didn't have a plan or anything. I was just sitting there slinging tunes like I normally do, but instead of releasing them, I'm just like, I'll put another one in the soundtrack. Why not? Did that for a long time. So that's at least, I used to do 4-track EPs. So that would have been 12 releases worth of stuff over 7 years. It would have been like, that's a lot to pick from. Well, I can tell you my least favorites that boggle the mind to this day, and I'll tell you exactly why they're my least favorites. Cheesy Jim isn't a song. Cheesy Jim was an exercise in please, Devin, we need you to make a song for the radio that plays in the gym in the background. And I'm like, cool. Musician me is going to take a nap. Sound designer me is going to go grab the crappiest sample pack that I have, pick a few fun samples, and they're just loops. Slap them together, and there's a song. And it's like a 5-10 second loop. Then you have then we're getting closer to release, and they're like, oh, can you make that longer and make it a whole song? So I'm like, okay. I made the loops longer, and I grabbed like a secondary set of loops and slapped those together. Laziest thing I've ever put together. That is a sample pack, just slice and dicer. It's a baloney song that only exists because it was asked of me, not because it was like, oh, I had to make that. I think that No Escape could be way better, and that's because I figured out how to do psytrance better later. Like if you ever go back and look to Reach the Sky, nailed the assignment. I think I figured out fun psytrance that way. No Escape needs work. Like if I were to redo it, it'd be a very different song. Let's see. It's not. I only hate Cheesy Jim not because it's bad. It's just because it was lazy. Like I didn't really write anything. I just put a couple loops that were in a sample pack that I had. So it's not like it's bad and people shouldn't like it. I'm just saying I don't have any like creative validity in what I did for that. So those two. Don't know if I actually dislike anything else on the album. I get frustrated that Deputized is more of a meme thing, at least to me, than it is like a music thing. And it outperforms tracks that I think are better musically and better creatively. But that's me being resentful, which would be stupid. People like it, let them like it. You know what I mean? And there's nothing bad with it. It's a fun assignment. Yeah, make a cheesy cowboy house remix kind of thing. So I've learned to accept Deputized more on the album. I really only have two that I just outright don't like too much. if I were to pick one more, it might be Brimstone, and I think it's because the sound design could be better. It's old. It's like geriatric dubstep. It doesn't work as well. It sounds like a lot of the older things that I wrote when I was a kid, not things I wrote as an adult. Um, I know that too. Deputize is amazing, and I know it's a joke song to you, but it's usually what drives others to check out other songs on the soundtrack. Again, it was the first boss fight song really in the game. That's when you've run into no, that's not true. Do you even count the bandit whatever bandit mag as a boss? I've always felt like that was just a boss. But he's a boss that finishes the tutorial part of the game, and then you set off on your adventure. Yeah, I don't. I'm grumpy. I think I'm more grumpy that not only does it perform well, it outperforms newer music that I put out today. Where I'm like, come on, like go listen to the new stuff. I get it, Deputize is cool, but that's again me being a bit of a curmudgeon. I like it. I like it more now. Yeah, those would be the only two that it would be. No Escape could be improved quite a bit, as could what was it? Just said it and I've forgotten. Oh, and then Cheesy Jim because that's not a real song. Murder Room is for the tutorial boss. Okay, so Murder Room is earlier in the game. It's been a minute. I haven't played it in the beginning. Was he a tutorial boss though? I again, mini boss is what I would put him as, but it's been a minute. I haven't actually replayed the game. Firmware's good. I like firmware. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think it was one of the better dubstep things I threw together back in the day. Um, Brimstone. Okay. What are your thoughts on the title theme? The title theme was really fun to write because play from NPN story mode. One of these days, we could just do a revisit the game and replay and kind of talk things over, make that a little series if we so choose. But I got music shit to do first. Gaming I do in my free time after I finish the next tape. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. When the next tapes is finished and we don't have any more songs to work on, then that can be the next series. It's just like, hey, revisit MPN, talk about it, see what comes up in my memory. It's like a commentator series. Oh, but anyway, sorry. Back to my thoughts. The main title theme was really fun to write. I wanted to make something kind of gritty and moody. I always go back to like those 80s movies with like the repetitive bass lines, and then you have like this serial pad. You're about to go storm the warehouse where the drug lord's at, and you're going in and doing whatever. It's very 80s. When I wrote that, I was thinking about making a ton of melodies, counter melodies, harmonies, things that I could pull out and insert into parts of other parts of the soundtrack. Um, that never happened. So instead of the game being a score, it functions more like a soundtrack where individual songs are played in their entirety, and they enhance the music the experience, right? Versus a score, even an interactive score, that's components of music playing at particular times to get a point across. And so when we were going to do that, I was going to sprinkle in the melodies and the harmonies and the other things, but that just didn't end up being a thing. So I'm very happy that at the very end of the project, I decided to try and do a like amped version of the title theme because it was like so many good components in there to play with. And I think that turned out best. And that easily was the best produced thing that I put on the album. The last song that was made for it, and by virtue of like 7 years of effort, that probably represents the best technical growth that I had in that time. That was pretty good. Um, yeah, the problem with making it a score, and I noticed this too when I was writing, is you have to break things up into much simpler pieces so that they can be triggered algorithmically while the game's being played, which ultimately doesn't work for like intricate dance music pieces because like they have to be rigidly put together to be enjoyable. Scores cutting in and out will kind of mess it up, and you'd have a lot less percussion because lining things up on percussive build-ins and dropouts can be a bit harder. Um, Madness Ambience 2, Madness Ambient 1. Oh, is that you're talking about like the it's like when you pause the game? Is that what you mean? Like the little loop for pausing the game? Because that was just pulled. It was I think I pulled clips from the song and then I just filtered them. That was it. Wasn't much of a tried making my own track inspired by the title a while back. Might go back and try that. So good. Remixes are fun. Fun to play around with something that you like. Ambiences might have just been like weird loops. Because I think they asked me for like background noise. I don't even think that's like really music. I'd have to actually, honest to goodness, I'll have to pull up the project files and see what I could find because I don't remember what they sound like. All right. What were we doing? Oh right, we were gonna open up old project, spare parts 10, synth nation, drums are fine. Yeah, we'll open that up. Can you hear me now? Uh, Testing 1 2. I'm seeing sound on my screen. Or am I having stream trouble? Did the stream just go? It's called Madness Ambience in the code, but it's actual ambience in the stage. It's very that has to be just like background loops where yeah. I think those were just like a bunch of background loops of like white noise and maybe a tone and a pad and it's like so have you ever been in like a big room and it's empty but there's noise in it? Like it's something is happening. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are a little bit delayed too. I'm seeing yeah. All right, activate audio engine. All right, we're not working on spare parts today. I think that'll be a Monday thing. But for Grinsies, I just want to hear it. Humor me here for a sec. Collab, bro. Yeah, if you got vocals, I'm always willing to try something. Um, yeah, that still sounds pretty good. Okay, so I don't screw up my project. We're gonna save that. I think I've answered this before. Favorite MPN character? It's probably Sanford and Demos. They don't suffer from power creep, power scaling problems that Hank and Jeebus does. Then again, I do really like Jeebus because that's just a funny like, oh, what if Magic Jesus Man, but he shot lightning bolts and wielded a sword and shit. It's just kind of funny. which was I think it was pretty funny. I forget. I think I was talking to Hans from the studio that did the live action trailer, and he had talked about the guy they hired. The couple of the people they hired were just jacked for the part because they're like, oh yeah, we're stunt guys, we can do stunt work, and so they. I think the guy under all the robes and stuff is just like, and I just love that idea. Jesus, client pulled himself down from the cross and started messing things up. uh, Victor, do no Vic. Let's see. So, what am I doing? Trying to do this file. Keep distracting me with all your questions. All right. Spare parts. Bitwig. Nextapes. After midnight. Just 4. Jam 4. Save. This helps because then I'm not sitting here trying to create the organization for the track. It's all kind of here already. So first things first. Kids we're gonna figure out. Delete. 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 Polygrid. That's a fit. Delete subs. We'll keep subs. I only need the one. I think that has input. Fourth player character was gotten ripped. Yeah, shit. I don't remember him. Jesus came back on the third day and started taking names. Yes. And then I like with the whole madness thing, he's got like the broken halo at some point. He's got a sword that's got binary on it. Matt made some funny stuff, which is honestly, it's fitting. I'm glad that my side of the album cover had Jeebus on it versus Hank, because it's like if I picked one or the other, Jeebus kind of more fun, more funny for me. Still weird that we ended up becoming friends after all that time. Not that weird, but wasn't planned. Oh, okay. Yeah. All this shit. Dump. Add some drones. Beat. Sub. I need lens. Madness theme and B2. I can send it. Yeah, I have to add people manually. I'm not. It's hard for me to pull Discord up on stream too. Um, no offense, but it's just like I get a lot of random ads, and for Discord, I do actually really use that mostly for like personal stuff, like playing Destiny with my friends and like crap like that. So I try not to get inundated with friends and private messages. It's like you can ping me on whatever platform you're on, just like DMs or DMs, yeah. Don't sweat it. I'll check. Actually, let me write that down. Madness theme MB2. I can probably just message you back. Yeah. Oh, you know what? That might be in the Samba drive. Hang on a sec. We might be able to just pull that shit up right now. Bam. Project Archives, Fmod, N. Not matching. Maybe two. Wow. Shit. My MP3 tagger. Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so that loop was just me grabbing pieces from the main theme. I think I just did a new drum loop on top of it, and then I had a nice repetitive thing. Let's see. Ah, crap. Did it again. Nope. Yeah, I think they're all the same. Okay. Project probably exists, but I don't know if any of the important samples are still there. Chesh has his own disc. Yeah, of course he does. One sec. Ah! Fall over. My side? This side. Both sides. Always has been. Yeah, I think it's been the same. At least that's working. Play past melody. Past? Is it called past? Did I miss? I'm not sure what you're looking for me to do. While the syncing cause stream I think we're behind by like a minute, like 60 seconds. And that's only because I want to have higher quality stream later. Oh, you got the vinyl set. Nice. Big thumbs up. Glad you like it. It's I plan on actually because I got a couple copies. I plan on taking some of the discs out and like putting them on my wall because it does feel like a nice accomplishment to have like real wax out there. All right, so that's there. Let's grab the melody crap. I love my vinyl set so much I have that on my shelf like a trophy next to freaking Paper Mario. That's high praise. That's actually very that was them some kind placements. We have here. Is the audio better on the vinyls in compared to streaming, or is it worse? I want to hear from. So the vinyls are mastered. They had a company master them for vinyl in particular, and when you do that, there's a couple considerations you have to make because digitally, you have fixed headroom at 0 dB when you finish a production song, but you can compress the shit out of it. You can have distortion artifacts. There's like a that hard limit might be hard, but there's a lot more you can cram into it. Vinyl has a physical limitation of the disc getting cut. Like the groove is literally getting cut into the wax. And so you can only go so deep. So I think what they end up doing is like you do a little bit of roll off at both ends and then you accentuate some things. So it tends to have a warmer characteristic. on vinyl than it does on digital. Digital's a little bit crisper, a little bit brighter, but the vinyl in particular is mastered with like, hey, let me keep warmth in mind and have it to where it's nice and balanced. Because if it was too aggressive, it would actually skip. Like the record wouldn't be able to play anymore because your grooves are too deep and it would like crap out. Play past melodies, side J. Uh, is it on Spotify? Because I don't have my vinyl rigged up right now. Oh, I can't actually, because then I'll get, I might get copy struck by uh Cheshire by accident. That's the thing. I can play my own stuff all day long. I own it. I don't own his stuff. I'll pull it up later though. Yeah, next to the $100 Paper Mario copy. Yeah, what do I have? I don't have any classic games right now, and I don't know if I would buy any. I like art better. I do. I did the poster up back there, which is a big oh, okay. Is it called Past? Because I can probably search for it past 130 BPM. Because I have the files. I put the damn thing together if it's in the engine. Stop it. Hmm. Oh, I see what you're saying. You want me to play the melody from this thing. I gotta change that. I gotta change my open with DLC by default. I don't know why it changed it to my tagging program. Hmm. I really he starts on this one. Kind of the intro, maybe? Yeah, that one's fun. Kind of bounces around, dips into that diminished kind of. I call them vampire chords. All right, where were we? Bit aggressive. I want to hear it all together with some drums. Skanks. Oh, I forgot about that one. Did that ever get finished? I don't think it did. Oh, I don't even think that project's got squat left in it. Let me go back. I can at least pull up the audio, probably. Oh, I never answered the original question. Which one's better? They're different. So I'd say between the vinyl and the digital is crisper with like the full breadth of sound. The vinyl is great for just like putting on, letting it rip, letting it ride for like the whole getting the whole experience in. And it's all been balanced together pretty nicely. So like nothing sticks out as too loud or too quiet across the whole 5 discs. So it's a nice cohesive full listen. But it like for like the individual component pieces, streaming is perfectly. And it's streaming the original waves. So you've got like the original. All right, skanks. Let's see if we can find it. I remember it vaguely. I just don't remember how it sounded. Archives, music project archives. Let's see what pops up. If anything. Got Skank's Whip. Boyish Choir. I vaguely remember this now. Those drums are terrible. I know why that didn't really go anywhere. It's because I was like, trap was becoming a thing, and I didn't really know what to do with it. Oh, those drums are bad. You needed some punchy drums here. That was fun. Might open. I mean, I might be able to open it up. It's like a lost song, like a truly lost one. I did like that intro. Not bad. That's neat. Oh, sorry, I did not. If yes, can you post passed on? Players broke. Blah blah blah. I back far. My mod skanks back into the game. Boss fight about the sum. What's that? Huh? Crashes while working on. Elaborate questions. Donate max money. Next time I have any money. No cap. For real. For real. Locknar is gonna get my entire bank account by the end of this. Hopefully not. You gotta eat too, dude. I like money. I like all the money. If I did, I would be working in software and I'd be getting my back cracked at Google. Crap music. Oh yeah, it was just it was unfinished. It didn't loop. Yeah, it didn't even have a second section. Oh, stop. Sometimes this interface is fiddly and I don't love it. Just after midnight had some parts that hurt my ears. Yeah, probably I would guess if that's the case, it would have been the second build up, which was all melody, all harmony. It was all really pinched and loud. Definitely not my best mixing job, but I didn't know what I was doing at that time. All right. Don't need the Probably not. What's discordant? I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. Hey, leave it at the. Yeah, all right, so it's a fifth. Left a fifth. If I go third minor, it's gonna be weird. Too sad. I'm already in the major for that. All right, let's. Bum, 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 bum. All right, just a texture. How long do you think it'll take for this? I'm gonna guess about 3 weeks. I think I'm gonna get some decent ideas going today. I think we've kind of figured a couple things out. A couple distractions here or there, but not too bad. I'm back home. I only have our anniversary trip that we're doing in a couple weeks, so that's gonna eat up a little bit of time. So I'm gonna work on it this weekend. I'm gonna work on it next week. Then wait. Am I even around? Yes, I am around. Probably by the third week of I'd like to have this done by the end of January. I think that's like a safe plan. Oh, I'm not ending quite yet. I mean, we're close. get the rest of this stuff in place. So, drums audio is good. Going to have a second percussion audio track. Our work bus. Let's see if Rock and Load is done at some point. It already so good. I wonder how it could be made better. I'm just gonna turn into drum and bass. Full stop. It sounds really good at that tempo. It's the genre I'm probably most passionate about right now, so I'm just gonna give that like the beans at 174. Uh, I'm probably gonna do that one like fourth or fifth in the next tapes. I really probably want to finish the next tapes with that. It's like the swinging a home run. Because it is one of my favorite songs I've ever done. So if I'm gonna make it something new, I better hit at it. I was gonna work on art while watching the stream and just realized I've been distracted the whole time. I mean that happens. That is what it is. All right, let's grab those percussion files. Works. Grab you here. Red. Okay, melody, harmony, there. Don't actually have any bass sounds from the original that I care about, but I do want the. Why don't we get these? Add track, bass. Yeah, perfect. That's fine. So bass one, sub. Uh, I mean, shit. I've distracted artist club. We were talking, and I was answering questions and pulling stuff up on Spotify. I'd say about 30 minutes of this production stream was just me BSing. So, and this is my stream. I wouldn't worry about it. We can do whatever we feel like because we're adults, probably. Also, those drums were fill-ins. I definitely need. That was actually. So for this one, I think if I have to go back and pull MIDI out, I can. What is this for? Play it in you. I think I know which melody you were talking about that hurt your ears. Which song am I the most disappointed in, and which are you most proud of? I guess if I was gonna say in general, the proudest one is probably between Rock and Loaded and I'll be really honest, I really liked what I did in Rocket Camp. That was one of my favorite new things. Just like execution, really nice. Production, really good. I'll be interested to see how I feel about it a year later, but like just after finishing it, it felt really good when I finished. Least favorite. There's a handful of like old stuff I wrote that just sounds bad. And it's bad sound design and mixing, so it's like it doesn't even benefit from being timeless. It just sounds uh unfortunately Killbot is one. I think that song is a bit on the it's like doesn't quite hold its own anymore. I might be skewed there. I think there's stuff like Bad Girls that sucked. Um One with this like bell that I played with had a cool intro, and then it like look, pile of music. You learn from your mistakes, and I got plenty of them. If you go back to anything circa 2008, you'd be like, ooh, bad. But all right, let's see. What else do I need? Frankly, frankly, I should probably just keep this open whenever I'm working as just after mid. Okay, so I can go fetch shit as I need. Um, Killbot VIP, would you champion classic? I think both. But and it's not the VIP's fault. I think it's the original's fault. I just I made better things. Like I think around that time, something like Rockstep was infinitely better song, and Killbot is a knockoff of Reptile. So it's hard for me to get super jazzed about it all these years later when it's like, yeah, it could be better. In case in point, I opened up the project and it's like I had nothing that I could do to improve or change or evolve it. It just fundamentally wasn't exciting to me. Wait, back. There's just got to be a handful out there. Like I mean, truly bad. I definitely did it. I was listening to shit the other day just to kind of figure out like, whoa, how far have I come? And it was like, yeah, it wasn't good. Um, hey, Christian, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the $5. Killbot VIP and 80s callback changed me, but well, 80s callback I really still like a lot. That was hey, let me do a fun ARP thing. That was a fun one, and I think that's one of the ones we're gonna try and remix for next tapes anyway. Killbot Killbot is fine. I think my personal hangup comes from the fact that it is a little too similar to something like Reptile when it came out when I made it. I think I also feel like I made a better version of that song when I did Mad Maestro. Even that one still both a lot of things at that time just sounded they didn't age as well as I would have preferred. I think a lot of things from that era didn't either though, not just myself, but like stylistically. No way 80s callback is getting remixed. Yeah, that's definitely one of the things getting remixed. It's got great melodies in it. I can make my old good melodies work. All of the bass lines were mostly mediocre. I can do better bass sounds now. I can do other things, but Enter the Nexus was a big one. I actually, and that's one probably my crowning achievement on the soundtrack. But like I said earlier, it was the culmination of everything that I learned in the last 6 years of working on the game and working as an artist. Enter the Nexus was like the opus to wrap up the little indie project known as Madness Project Nexus, right? And I think that turned out really good. All right, first off, that's got to turn way bunch. Well, that's really sweet to hear. I'm glad you guys like the work on the game. I mean, and I think that's the other thing too. If I ever feel, I'll tell you something. Sometimes I might come off as jaded about something kind of silly or petty. And one thing I have to remember is people consume your stuff outside of the way you can stuff. So I can make something that I generally think is like okay. Somebody's gonna really love it out there. And I have to remember, like, I was just playing the Mario RPG remake that they put out. And granted, the lady who did the compositions on that, her name is Yoko, and I cannot pronounce her last name. She's worked on a shit ton of projects in her career and have like crushed it in a ton of places. I'll bet that there's a soundtrack that she made or a score that she made that's like, man, I think this is like the thing. And then people come up and be like, Mario RPG, it's such great music. And then it's like, that person probably gets that for any number of things. You just got to be happy that people were happy enjoying your stuff. And I think I'm definitely getting better about that, particularly for deputized in particular. But oh, I'm in the U.S. Uh, Project Next. I've definitely known it a long time. I think, well, me being steeped in it, I didn't get to actually experience the game as like a random, like, oh my goodness, after decades of watching cartoons, I finally get to play the game. I lived it. I was in it. I was working on things, testing things. So it's like, I didn't get the day one surprise of playing that. I know that would have been really, if I didn't work on MPN, that would have been one of those games where I was like, wow, that was cool going and playing the cartoons the way I liked. Um, all right, so piano. What's your favorite indie game made from another creator? Ooh. Wish I had Steam up. I'd actually look at it right now. Favorite indie. I'll always have a soft spot for that one hand-drawn game. Oh, what it was Elysian Tale. Haven't touched it in years, but it was a hand drawn, hand animated, side scrolling kind of action platformer thing. I remember playing that and just be like, wow, this is just really well put together. And it had this kind of like anime style story that was fine. Like it was fun. And then you find out it was made by one dude, and that was like, wow, that was pretty impressive, dude. Thanks for showing me a good time. Um, indie games. I mean, Vampire Survivor was super fun, and to find out a guy just kind of made that in his free time. It's nice to see something so simple and harken back to like the old school online Newground style video games where you're like, yeah, it's a bullet hell game and there's kind of derpy characters and whatever, but it's so well executed. It's really nice to see that it just was a smash hit success. Do I know Geometry Dash? I do know Geometry Dash only by virtue of like finding that people have used songs from the game and from other places for it. Um, Personally, I'm a Geometry Wars fan, but that's a different thing entirely. That's more puzzly puzzle shooter. Home state, South Carolina. Nice. Uh, Favorite indie game. Barry answered that. There's a handful, if I think about it. I think I don't think it counts as an indie title by like one person, but I would say two. Uh oh, favorite old Newgrounds game. Castle Crashers is tight, but I have a soft spot for Alien Hominid. That was a fun demo that I played a lot before I ever even like bought the game on the Xbox. Um, there's other new so many. I spent a lot of time on that website. It's really hard to like nail down my favorite new game. There's a ton. Hell yeah, I could probably point to Madness Interactive eating up a ton of hours. In fact, fun fact, teenager me was playing with Acid Pro and doing loop mixing and everything else. One of the things I would do is I'd make songs, go play Madness Interactive, turn off the music in Madness Interactive and listen to my music while I was playing Madness Interactive. These were terrible. These were bad bad impressions of like breakbeats from the Matrix and choirs from the Matrix, but I did in fact play Madness Interactive and made music for myself from Madness Interactive. Gosh, that was years ago. That's a long time. Those files are long. Those are like 6 dead computers ago. Yeah, to think. So it's like, yeah, fast forward probably 15 years after that, I ended up working on the official thing when they went for like a real big game, which is just like totally weird that that ended up. Uh, yeah, I did make Killbot. The VIP was made by some friends of mine. Half of the duo that I ended up working with on a bunch of techno with later. I have no idea where that file is. I'm pretty sure the only people that have that file anymore is Matt and Michael. No, Devin Martin made Killbat, not Locknar. I mean, that's fair. Technically true. We'll go with that. I like that. And then we can just have a really nice, long, drawn out version. Don't need the big rhythm. Christian. Lochner is like, I haven't heard that name in years. Long time. Long time. Who am I kidding? I think I looked up all my old shit the other day just to be like, hey, where have I been? What have I been working? Ah, yes, back in the dubstep wars. That's right. You know your friend. Just a big bit. I come out in a row. Locknar. In everyone can know? Uh, you've amused me greatly this day. Thank you. Oh, I hear Spider-Man 2 is great. I think we're gonna pick up a PlayStation here sometime in the next probably 6 months when the Slim comes out. Trade in the old Xbox and the old PS4 that she's got, and then switch our media center to PlayStation because they've just got better like single player games right now. Xbox has got Game Pass for PC, works for me. I'll play my Xbox stuff on the computer. Sometimes you just have to be funny about it, right? In the dubstep wars, it was 2009. I was just a grunt making beats, and the big waves kept coming. I'm 10. All right. Didn't make a ton of progress today. We got a little piano thing. See how that goes. That gives me a sense for like what kind of harmonies I can do. Because I can make this a little bit lighter and a little bit happier to then really twist the knife when it switches into the more, little bit more dour, a little bit more epic. So, um, pull up Killbot. No, I refuse. I refuse today. Perhaps another time. Oh, it already came out. The big waves, literally the trenches. Anyway, well, it's 7:20. We went a little long today. Good, organized. I'm gonna probably start trying to work on some bass ideas before Monday. We'll work on spare parts on Monday night. We'll do next tapes next Friday, and that's kind of about it. Same old shit, different week. Yeah, I'd like to get this done. What's our time? Yeah, if I can get this done by like, ooh, it'll be by the end of the month because I'm losing a whole week to go on our first year's anniversary. Like that's totally turning the brain off for that one. Um, yeah, time for me to do the art I was gonna do. Yeah, yeah. Now you can't be distracted, or you'll just find another stream. But anywho, good chatting, everybody. We'll back on the saddle on Monday.